The next item that we need to focus on is office hours. You will be required to determine your own office hours based on your own availability, as well as your calendar that is associated with the school district that you're teaching at. So all students have access to this class information folder. And most of it is general to the course, but some of it is instructor specific and will need to be changed. One of those items is the office hours. So the first thing that we need to do is determine our own office hours. Then you will need to click the office hours template, make a copy of it. This is your copy that only you will have access to. It is not linked to the master copy. Of course, change anything on this document that needs to be changed, such as the semester, your phone number, your email address, and of course your name. And this QR code links personally to my office hours, so you can delete that. At the bottom, you will include any courses that you're teaching this semester with the course code and all of the course information, such as location and time. If you are teaching only online, I usually put Blackboard and asynchronous for those items. And I list any available office hours that I could drop everything and speak to a student right away if need be. For faculty, 10 hours are required, but adjuncts may be different. You will have to check with Steve Zani, our supervisor, in order to determine that. Once you have made all of these changes, you're going to want to go to this share button in the top right-hand corner. Make sure that it says anyone with the link can view, and then we can copy this link and save it for later, or just leave this window open. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to download as a PDF. Make sure that you click download as PDF, and you should be able to export the entire thing. After that, you will go to your email and you will write an email to Amber Atkinson, and you can CC Steve Zani if you wish to, but Amber Atkinson will want those office hours. And you will attach your office hours, which mine are right here. Send that to her, and then you are done with that section of it. But we also have to update the office hours within ConnexEd so students are able to reach us. So on your LSCPA homepage, we'll go to ConnexEd. It should log you in automatically because you already have an instructor account, but if that's not the case, feel free to reach out. We're going to go all the way down to settings and documents and office hours settings. One thing that you may notice about my office hours is that these orange blocks appear. These are imported from a synced Outlook calendar, so if somebody schedules a meeting with me in Outlook, it will appear here and prevent a student from blocking out that time since I'm already busy. It also works in reverse. If I have a student schedule a meeting with me here in ConnexEd, it will automatically populate in my Outlook calendar. The way to connect that is right here with these little gears in the top right-hand corner, and go to Calendar Sync. And as you can see, I have my Outlook calendar synced. I don't want to change that, but this is where you would go to sync your calendar, which I think is always a good idea. I have it set for push and pull, and I have it set to omit office hours, so it really helps to clean up my calendar. After you are certain about your calendar syncing, then we can go to calendar schedule, or I'm sorry, settings, scheduler settings. Make sure you are in the correct time zone. I like to have a default meeting length of 30 minutes, which seems to be sufficient for most students. I do not want them to schedule less than 1 day in advance. I want at least 1 day of notice so that I know that I have a meeting coming up that day. And I don't want them to give me more than 3 weeks notice. I feel like if a student is scheduling out that far, then the meeting may or may not be useful by the time it rolls around. So I set mine to 3 weeks. 2 weeks would be reasonable. And I like to have a meeting buffer, meaning students can't accidentally schedule back-to-back meetings with me without any downtime, so 15 minutes is usually sufficient. I do like to receive email confirmation of all of my meetings, so make sure that that is checked. The last thing is that you're actually going to update your office hours. So to do that, you can click anywhere on this calendar or just double click, create office hours. You can also create a busy event, such as when I'm taking my child to the dentist, I'll create a busy event so people can't accidentally schedule meetings with me during that time. So we're going to go to office hours, make sure that your information is correct, and we're going to click academic studies and criminal justice. Then, of course, set your time. So I'm just going to leave this time the way it is, but you will set it for whatever time you want. I do like to do weekly repeats. Let's say I'm meeting at this time Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now I don't have to make 3 separate office hours. Then you will set the end date. The end date should be listed in the master calendar. You can look at the last page of the master calendar and find out what the ending date is for the semester of which you are working. This semester is going to be 5/10. It will be the last day of the semester. You want to make sure not to check this because this will allow students to schedule a meeting with you instantaneously, so you get no notice. If that's ever the case, I usually meet with the students, just not through ConnexEd because ConnexEd needs some warning time. Of course, click video meeting. I prefer not to click phone call, but if that is a viable option for you, click that. I do click in person because I have face-to-face office hours. If you do not have face-to-face office hours, don't worry about it. But if you do meet face-to-face, make sure that you click the correct room because currently the default is the chair's office. So we want to scroll down to wherever our office is, and then we will save it. And this will populate within our calendar for the entire semester. If for any reason we want to change it, let's say we want to change the entire series, and instead of ending at 3:45, maybe we want to end at 4:45. So I'll just make those changes and save. And all of the series should change. If just one meeting time needs to be changed, we can just edit or even delete that single occurrence, and it will only change in that single occurrence. I'm going to delete the whole series because I don't need this one. The last thing we do, I'm so sorry, I know that it's a lot. The last thing that we need to do is go to our ConnexEd card and copy this link as well as this link that I asked you to copy earlier. We're going to go back to Blackboard. Click these 3 dots in order to edit. And you notice that it says replace the following source attributed with the URL of your door schedule. So this is the Google Docs link that I'm asking for. Copy this link. Okay, we're going to place it inside of the source. And where it says edit, we just want to replace that with preview. Now, save this, and then anytime a student looks at this page, they will see your office hours instead of my office hours. I'm not going to press save because it would cancel my office hours out. So that is how you edit your Google Doc, and then it should appear like this on your classes. Now, anytime you see this ConnexEd card, you will need to change your ConnexEd office hours. So click the 3 dots, and again, there should be instructions. Replace the following reference attributed with the URL of your ConnexEd card. So here is where we will replace the URL for your ConnexEd card, which you can get right here at the top of your ConnexEd homepage. It should just replace your name. Everything else should be the same. So you could just replace your name here at the end of the URL and it would work. I also like to change the names so that students don't get confused about who they're communicating with, but these don't actually change the data that students see in the homepage. It just changes some of the background information. So you can change those as well. And that way, your ConnexEd card will be visible to all the students. The rest of this information should remain unchanged. that will need to be changed in all of the beginning units. So if we go to Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, the unit lesson has contact information in every single page. So we will need to change those. Make sure that you are not editing anything other than the information that you are asked to edit. Otherwise, it won't copy correctly. If you do run into any problems with this, feel free to reach out to me. That's it for office hours, and I look forward to speaking with you about the other items on the list.